historical perspective from our group. We've got a very accomplished panel, but we're going to be asking you a number of questions. But let's start by talking about the first major decision that you made that really has had an influence on your leadership style. So, Kevin, why don't you start?
So I think it was, before I launched Gilt Groupe, I launched a company called DoubleClick when I was about 32. And so starting that company was a time, and during the first 4 years, we went from 0 to 2,000 employees and opened in 25 countries. And so the only way to do that is to make decisions unbelievably quickly. And you have to kind of change the rate of speed on decisions, and you realize you don't have as much information as you'd like. And so that involves hiring, firing, it involves opening new offices, and you just have to accept the fact that you're going to make a lot more mistakes than you would like, but that if most of them work out, you end up being the leader in your space, and ultimately that works out well.
Good, that's a great first answer. I'm going to go to Gordon and ask you, Gordon, for your first decision that really had an influence on how you ran your business.
Well, I think early on we decided to, even though we're a very small store, 1,700 little square foot store and $17,000 of capital, we decided to buy direct from vendors in Europe, to go find small glass makers and ateliers making pottery and design in Europe and importing it ourselves. We were absolutely crazy to do it. It was a risk, but we were too young to know what kind of risk it was and too naive. So that's the advantage of youth.
Seemed to have worked out for you.
Yes.
Ben, how about you?
So mine's probably a little bit more basic. I was in my first company, which was about 20 years ago, founded a cap company called Lids, which is a specialty retailer, small format category killer. But I happened to be a junior in college when I did it. And I very quickly, out of necessity, learned the need to surround myself with outstanding people that would challenge a lot of the assumptions that I had about a business and that in fact knew a lot more than I did. So figuring out how to put my ego aside as a founder and how to surround myself with people that could guide this business to success. I learned it out of necessity, so I don't want to preach wisdom, but it turns out to have been pretty important to me as I built some other companies along the way.
Very good. Bernie?
Well, my first major decision was about 3 months after I joined Montgomery Ward. Sounds negative, but I don't think it really was. I closed the 100-year-old catalog business doing $2 billion. And people thought I lost my mind at that point in time. And the reason was in changing demographics, changing consumer buying patterns, and ultimately it convinced our associates that our future was someplace else, not in the old big book catalog business. And ultimately, Sears and JCPenney did the same. So it helped people understand you can make big decisions that seem negative, but they truly can be positive.
Great. And then how about you?